Well, let's just do a quick, I think, recap
Should we
on
just recap the weigh-in
279.
That was the most entertaining part, right?
It
Yeah, I
was.
didn't get to see any of the fights, so my, pay-per-view was cutting in and out.
Oh, man.
And I was
Well,
busy
watched
the
it.
whole day.
Honestly, it was a fun card. It was probably turned out ended up better than it was supposed to be on paper with the whole scuffle. I'm sure by now everybody knows what happened on weigh-in day with Khamzat Chimaev. Started off with the main event. I mean, Nate Diaz.
Yeah, but is there a conspiracy or not to this? Like, what the fuck?
I don't think. I'm Mr. Conspiracy Theory.
The doctor tells Khamzat to stop cutting weight. There's a scuffle with him and Holland. Turns out he fights Holland.
I could believe that there was no doctor telling Khamzat to not cut weight, but if you think it's a big UFC conspiracy, no. Now, if Khamzat just said, fuck it, I'm not cutting weight no more, I could see that being intentional.
Yeah, but
I don't think this is like Dana White's going to try to shuffle the deck last day.
Other than Khamzat losing his pay-per-view points and his main event bonus and all that, what punishment?
That's fucking a huge punishment.
Yeah, but still. Like,
what do you think Khamzat's probably
people have
making?
gotten that and they've been fined on top of that.
Who? Name one.
Who got fined? We got missed weight. Two fighters on this card got fined.
I guarantee Khamzat Chimaev lost more money than both those fighters combined.
Yeah, but it's still like you're not.
Still what? What more do you want?
Essentially, he screwed himself, but he's still not being
He's
disciplined.
being
himself.
very disciplined.
Like there has to be some.
He lost the main event pay-per-view point. He lost probably $1 million at least yesterday.
Yeah, but like, so I don't agree with Connor much, but
No, with the
Connor
pay-per-view
said
points and stuff like that. I absolutely. If your name's on the pay-per-view, we're not talking about his fight pay. We're talking about the stuff that they don't report, the stuff that goes that nobody will ever know they actually get paid, and especially because they're not in California. You really want to know what the hell's going on. He lost more money than those two guys combined.
Yeah,
what more do you want? Like
I like kind of what Connor said. Something about him being pulled off the card, forced to starve, doesn't get paid anything. You got to learn, like, unfortunately the situation worked
So you
out
want slavery?
in the UFC?
That's what he wants.
That was unprofessional. Like the other guys didn't do it.
You just no work, no pay. Slavery.
He worked.
Yeah, so
He worked. He fucking beat the shit out of Kevin Holland. He worked.
I mean, I think you get the one strike, right? Like he came in.
Yeah, it's not like he's a chronic weight misser either.
Yeah.
He's never missed weight before.
Costa did it and then came back and
he still got the main event. He didn't even lose money.
yeah, but
Paul
still.
Costa didn't even lose money when he did. What are you talking about? He still got the main event. Like that? No, he did. He lost a main event pay-per-view points and went down. I guarantee Khamzat's like base pay is not that high. He's still probably in his first
It's
contract.
only like his fourth fight.
Yeah, so
Good
he's
fight.
probably only made like $20,000 if he knows he got a good performance of the night. No, he probably got like $20,000 to fight last night.
Yeah,
I think he probably did better than that, but
if he wasn't on that main card, that none of that would have happened. Like if you're on a lower card, you're getting pulled from the thing. Things are going on another month. You're getting fined.
Yeah, life's not
especially
fair.
if your opponent chooses not to fight you.
Life's not fair.
Like people have been punished for less.
People still were talking about his fight all day, every day.
I get that. That's going to save you. That's a saving grace.
It's not a saving grace. It's you've built your own value. When
But
you build your own value, you can make like Nate Diaz. He was in a driver's seat yesterday.
It makes me question who really is Khamzat. Like did he not take it? Like what happened? Is
I mean, he
injured?
seems
What's the
very
narrative?
unapologetic about the weight not.
He doesn't
making
care.
weight.
He's like they're not going to do anything. I'm Khamzat.
I think it was a bullshit fight to start with, and everybody agrees with that. It never should have been a book.
I don't think Nate
he
ever
wasn't
wanted that
motivated to fight. He didn't care about the fight. He thought I could just show up and do anything. He thought, maybe Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz didn't lose any money when he fucking came up 30 pounds overweight his last fight. Nick Diaz didn't even cut weight. Remember, he said, "I'm not going to shoot." That's like it's this precedent. These stars don't cut weight all the time. So it's not like this is the first time they've done it. And I just think he's like, oh, maybe he'll come in out. He won't want to cut weight either, and we'll just go and fight. And that's probably what it was. And then he's like, you know what, my doctor said I couldn't cut weight. But it was a bullshit fight to start with. Mm-hmm. The card ended up being better because of the switch, because we had 2 funerals yesterday instead of we only got 1. That was Tony Ferguson. But
he goes to get finished either way. So
Well, what's next for Kevin Holland?
Kevin Holland's calling out Wonder Boy.
that was the fight that they were trying to get originally before it was D-Rod.
I feel like I'm not excited to see that fight.
For Holland, I am. I think he needs a big name in the welterweight division under his belt. He needs a bounce back fight.
And I think it's a good fight for Stephen Thompson, to be honest with you.
And if you don't want to lose whatever Kevin Holland has, keep him away from wrestlers.
Yeah, and keep Stephen Thompson away from wrestlers.
Right. You 2 guys you don't want to see fight a wrestler.
Stephen Thompson can bounce back.
You can always run back D-Rod and Kevin Holland if you want to. That's out there because D-Rod technically won the fight. Although he got the fucking pounding of the weekend. I personally do not think the weight differential on the fight was that big a deal. But first, he couldn't wear his suit. He got, he had to fight a different opponent who was a much harder fight. Forget the weight. Like Daniel Rodriguez at this point is a way tougher fight than Tony Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
And he won the fight and got robbed. Even Dana White himself said, no, Hamza or Jingling won that fight. And speaking of which, I get bashed for calling him Jingling all the time. Fucking Nate Diaz called him Chun Li. like Nate called him Chun Li.
I feel like that's kind of a
broadcaster
compliment,
called
though.
him Jingling too.
It's pretty fucking close to saying Jingling.
Did you hear Bam Bam doing his predictions in France? Like
No.
he called it Jingling.
No.
Like in his Aussie accent.
So yeah, but it was a fun night of fights. Aldana Macy KSM was a surprise banger. You might have had back-to-back 10-8 rounds for Aldana in round 1 and Casey on round 2. Either way, 2 dominant rounds. It was a close fight in round 3, and Aldana had that crazy knockout. Johnny Walker got back on track. Arosa had his best performance in the UFC versus his best opponent so far. Almeida is stop giving this guy something for real.
He needs a challenge, yeah.
But who was he supposed to fight? Turkalaj was a last-second replacement, but Tallulah came back with a 4. JB Pickett probably getting cut. The fucking Chris Barnett, man.
I mean, good for him.
He's alive, staying alive, does the front flip, gets good. I want
Was he
to
five foot?
talk about this fight. Something I've talked about a lot in this podcast. Jake Collier was in control in round 1. Sitting on top of him, had the high mount, but he was throwing those little bullshit pity patter strikes, trying to have the ref stop this fight. Even though he's not really hitting him, he's hitting hands, hitting shoulders, but it's a flurry. And who I think was Beltran did not stop the fight. He survived the round, and looks what happened. So I'm glad. If Collier just would have been more patient, sat it out, dropped a couple heavy ones, and then as it opened up, go to that, he would have got the win. So thank you, whoever the ref is. Again, I think it's Beltran. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either Beltran or Smith. But either way, they didn't reward him for just throwing little pity pats on the face. Dumont looks like she is as good as anybody in that 135 division.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind seeing her against Nunes. Why not? If
That was a featherweight fight, though.
but they fought it. But
Yeah, they're all the same.
It's the same thing. She does have trouble getting down to 135, but still, let's see her and Nunes for a featherweight then. Either way, I like to see those two fight. Although, what's Vieira fight? Katlyn Vieira fighting that? Is it 145 or 135?
She's 135.
Either one of those two chicks are going to fight Nunes next, I think.
Yeah. She's 11, ranked 11.
So Vieira just won. I think Vieira. It depends what Amanda wants to fight. If she wants to fight bantamweight next, it'll probably be Vieira. If she wants to fight featherweight, I think it should be Dumont. That makes the most sense. Look at, you know why there's nobody listening in featherweight, because they're all the same fucking chicks.
Mm.
It's all the same chicks that don't want to cut weight sometimes. Elise Reed had her best performance.
How was this fight?
Which one?
Was it competitive or no?
No. Alatang beat the piss out of Chad.
I thought it would be competitive.
Alahanger was tough. He was staying in there, but he was getting fucking rocked.
He was a lot slower.
Yeah, and this weird little rolling punches and shit like that. And Alatang was showing straight on the pipe. Reed, Melissa Martinez is good talent wise, but she is too small for the UFC. There's no atomweight. She's been an atomweight her whole life.
How good is that circuit though that these Mexican girls come off of though?
Pretty fucking good.
Is it good?
Because she looked. I mean, she didn't look bad. She just looked like that she didn't have the power to hurt Reed like Reed had the power to hurt her.
How did Johan win this fight? From looking at the stats, it looks like
Because Weeks didn't do anything.
well, he looked like he did more output and stuff from what I was looking at stats.
No. And then he didn't.
Look at that. And a takedown, 49.
What round
was all that stuff happening in one round
I think
or something?
so. The takedown, he did nothing with it.
But it didn't look he did either. 23 significant strikes in the whole fight.
But they were fucking shots.
what
He
were they-
rocked. Did he knock down Weeks once? He at least rocked him once for sure.
So were they just staring at each other the whole time,
It was,
taking
yeah,
pictures?
This was a do nothing fight.
Wow.
It was a do nothing fight. Yeah, it was the second round where we got the big differential. Yeah.
Wow, 6-14. Oh, he was trying to take him down.
Yeah.
Take him down.
Yeah, and then he did defend every single takedown to in reverse positions. There's a lot of pressing against. This is a shitty fight. And Lioness kind of opened up. He's been having gas issues, gassing out a lot. He said he wanted to make a purpose that he can make 3 rounds. So it kind of showed.
You don't do nothing.
It kind of showed in this fight because he was really being. It sucked. The fight fucking sucked.
You throw 23 strikes. I hope you can.
The
make it
man's
3
got
rounds.
power for sure. He's hand heavy. I think against top competition he's going to struggle. But guys that will
Well, he
leave
just
that
got
shit
knocked
open.
out. Who knocked him out? He come off a knockout loss.
He lost to Gabe Green
Yeah,
but
Gabe
he dropped Gabe Green a
in the
bunch of
first
times
round,
in that
yeah.
fight, and he gassed out.
Yeah, and they got finished.
And he gassed out. So I think he was really afraid of gassing. And that's what he looked like in the fight. Weeks looked sharp, didn't look terrible, but again, this was a fight that neither guy really deserved to win. Honestly, it wasn't much to talk about. But that was UFC 279, and we're gonna have to fucking earn 280, guys, because the next few fight night cards are not. This one's not too bad coming up here. Sandhagen versus Song here on Saturday, but the next few after these, I think you got a fucking Avila versus somebody as a main event. Who is it? Two like strawweights, I think are main.
No, there's a chick fight that's
Araujo and
Araujo and
Grasso
Grasso are headlining a card.
Yeah, we got some rough ones coming up, guys. But this one should be pretty fun. There's some good fights. Not a marquee type one, but there are some fucking
There's
scraps
a lot
happening.
of names I don't know on here actually.
The main event, Cory Sandhagen, one of my personal favorites. Only losses in UFC are the champions.
Yeah,
He's never lost anybody that's not a champion.
This is a fight for him to get back on track. I think he has more tools. Song Yadong has power for sure.
Song Yadong has power. He is much younger.
Yeah,
right.
but
He's coming up, and that's always scares me. One, it could hurt you for experience-wise, right? You know, Sandhagen's been in with a better competition, but two, those young guys can make huge leaps from fight to fight, right? As they progress, as they go through, he's working out an alpha male. I do think Sandhagen has more tools. He's been in there with guys. There's nothing that Yadong's going to do that's going to shock Cory. Now, he could beat him. No. I don't think Yadong's ever been 5 rounds. That's the thing that scares me, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cory wins this fight with his weapons, his range, and like you said, he's seen it all, and he's seen every skill set from all. Like he's seen wrestling at the top level. He's seen the striking from the top level, and he's handled it.
Right? I mean, it's not like Jan hit him with that spinning back fist, but it wasn't like Jan was able to land big on him. You know,
he's only been finished once by what was it, Aljo, right?
Aljo took him from
choked.
the back.
I mean, who said if they ran that fight back, he'd be able to do that again?
I mean, that's
kind of like. I'm not saying it's a fluke, but it was like
that's like Aljo getting his perfect case scenario in the fight.
Like it worked out perfectly, and I think. It's like Cory's one of those guys that's like he may never be champion, but he's like Dan Marino for the Dolphins, you know?
It's in that 35 division. There's going to be a lot of guys like that. There's going to be a lot of great Hall of Fame style fighters that never even get a title shot.
Yeah, Hall of Famer that never won the title.
At least he might never get an opportunity to get a real fight. I mean, remember the Jan one was interim. He might never get a legit like Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson had that great run. He won the interim title. He never ever got the actual title opportunity, right? He never got that chance to get that done. But I think we're agreed Cory Sandhagen gets it done.
Cory Sandhagen
probably by a sub late, I think.
I think it's an decision.
I don't know what Yadong's going to look like late in the fight. He's never been 5 rounds. Cory's been there before.
Yeah.
Maybe he looks great. Maybe he looks not.
I can see Cory hitting him with a knee though too.
A knee up the gut, a club and sub type
or
situation.
Just a flying knee to the face, you know.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to duck to hit him with stuff,
right?
Overhands and stuff.
And Cory's going to have the length advantage too.
Yeah.
Next one here. This one might be fight of the night.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
These are two. I mean, this one could be where two guys get tired because they're going to throw it. But these are two heavy fucking hitters. Two guys that go for knockouts, and two guys that I have not seen them have a boring fight.
They both
yet.
look good.
Yeah. We got Barack Obama, Gregory Rodriguez coming in against Chidi Bang Bang, Ojukwani. Jaquani has fucking cinder block hands.
Yeah,
if he touches your cheek, you go out. Rodriguez definitely has knockout power. His edge is definitely grappling though. If he's able to get his arms on Chidi, he is legit.
But his problem is his gas tank, though.
Yeah, but what's Chidi's gas tank like with somebody on his back?
We don't know.
Rodriguez is gonna be a bigger motherfucker.
And who, like in his last fight, Chidi's grappling was getting tested.
Like this guy is dense. We're talking about a little bit how weights, imaginary weights and fights. I guarantee Rodriguez could fight a heavyweight. He's a big dude. He's making down to 185. He's definitely over 205 pounds when he's in that cage. He is a big fucking guy. Chidi does have a little bit of reach advantage.
Yep.
The one punch power, it's an edge to Chidi, but I don't think it's like miles above what Gregory can do.
But I also think Chidi uses more weapons. Like he uses elbows, he uses knees. Like whereas RoboCop boxes and those heavy hands.
He does keep his hands low too.
Yeah.
He does keep his hands low too.
I'm gonna go with Chidi.
I'm gonna
and that 80-inch reach I like.
I am going to lean to Rodriguez because I think he can get his arms on Chidi, and I want to see what how Chidi responds to that. So I'm going to go Gregory Rodriguez in that fight. The two low-level heavyweights here, right? You're picking from the bottom of the barrel. We got Rodrigo Nascimento coming off a no contest. I don't know. Did he win that fight or lose that fight?
Who was it against again?
It was against Badeau.
Badeau. Punches.
I think he won the fight.
So why is it a no contest? Was it
I don't know who it was.
Drugs or something?
Who knows? But he is a younger
Well,
dude.
if he won the fight and it's a no contest, he did something.
Right.
Nascimento popped for something.
Yeah, I don't remember who won that fight. I forgot the Alan Baudot and Nascimento fight. Forgive me, everybody. Forgive me for forgetting that fight in my head. Tanner Bowe, it says no. I was trying to look at it earlier. It just says no
I
contest.
highly doubt it was Baudot.
Right. Yeah, Alan
That won that
Baudot does
fight.
not ever look good. So
Yeah.
he's in that run for worst fight in the UFC too.
Where he hasn't fought in over.
Tanner Bowe's just one of those smaller heavyweights. Probably a 205, but he likes to eat. You know, he has good striking. He's sharp. Technical stand up. He does. Apparently, he has some power, but it was an OSP he finished.
Yeah, he's like decent at things, but he's not great at anything. Yeah,
he can't crack you. Who did he crack early on? Though we kind of like, who is this guy, Tanner Bowe? Let's go back to his record. Lens. He lit.
Well,
Lens
like
up
it's like
with
during the COVID shutdown stuff, he had a good run there for a bit.
Right.
He was looking decent, and then
when he lost,
went downhill.
Arlovsky.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lens one was a big time cracking knockout.
Yeah.
Latifi's
Latifi's not a good look though.
Latifi's late. Remember that was a tight. Like Latifi laid on him a lot. I picked Latifi in that fight, but
I'm gonna go with Tanner Bozer here.
I'm gonna go with Nascimento. I think he's got the better team. Canada's not looking good right now for MMA guys, and I'm gonna go with the American top team, the bigger guy, and I'm pretty sure he's on. You know, he's won 4 out of his last 5 fights.
Give me Tanner to win a decision.
This is one you want to circle for your fucking DraftKings guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joe Pyfer just came off. He's the one that Dana White had that big, huge speech. You want to get a fucking contract? Be Joe Pfeiffer. Comes out, finishes his fight early.
Oh, body bags. Yeah.
His last Dana White Contender Series fight. I think he.
Oh,
trains
he was
with
a big
Brady.
underdog in that fight, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't Ozzy the big favorite?
Yeah, he trains with Brady, Sean Brady.
Okay.
He the camp with Felder and all that Philly crew. Bad motherfucker, tough dude, like homeless, friend, like that type of guy that made it to the UFC. He lost his first Contender Series. His arm gave out. I think he went to slam Stolte and his arm gave out. And he hit him in the arm by trying to slam and he broke his arm, but he came back and won. Versus Amadovsky, obviously we can see he's on a big losing streak, but he does have finishes under his belt coming up. Who did he just get knocked out by?
And gets finishes. Joseph Holmes.
Oh, Holmes.
Yeah,
Well, before
ugly
that,
man.
John Phillips.
That's not a good one.
But
John Phillips is a decent boxer. You stand with him, he's gonna crack you.
John Phillips is in trouble if you take him down. I lean Joe Pfeiffer because he looked Pfeiffer.
I'm
He
gonna go
looked
with the-
fucking sharp in that middleweight fight in that Contender Series. But again, DraftKings, I'm going to be having both sides of this fight because I don't think it's going to go 2 rounds. I think it's going to end in the first round.
I'm gonna go with the younger guy, Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Give me that. 3 losses. Ooh, all finishes too. Yeah.
His wins are finishes too.
This is a tough fight. Like,
Yeah,
where's
man,
Feely
two
at?
guys that really don't do much.
Yeah, and
Like-
then, like I think Algio's not as. I mean, he's decent.
Well, Feely, what's this draw? Was that the one that Espinoza? Pineda, I mean, yeah.
Pineda.
The accidental eye poke.
Accidental eye poke.
I think Feely's the better fighter.
I think he is, too.
He's sharp. He's lost
And
to
then he
some
got
Bryce
caught
Mitchell.
by Brito. You know.
Yeah. He beat Jourdain.
I mean, well. Not to shit on your man, but
Jourdain beat fucking Shane Burgos
He-
in New
he
York.
did.
And he beat fucking Wood, too. Fuck that bullshit
no,
decision.
it did not.
That fight, Wood did not do anything in that fight.
Wood won that fight.
But on technicality. In a street fight, Charles Dane won that fight. But anyway, I think they should cut Nathaniel Wood. That guy fucking sucks.
Senor Perfecto's not going to pull it out?
I don't think so.
I want touchy-feely.
I think Touchy Feely gets back on track here,
I think it's
and I think he knocks him out.
I don't know if he knocks him out, but I do think he wins the fight on the feet. He's going to be able to keep it up, too.
He's gonna have to scramble out of some shit though.
And I think he will.
Yeah.
He survived the pressure of Doug Nasty, and he's had some reversals. He got off the floor from Doug Nasty. That is a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that go to the ground with Bryce Mitchell and don't get back up. So I'm gonna go with touchy feely.
I don't know much about either of these two guys.
Dragden's more of a wrestler. He just lost to Jordan Levitt.
Ooh.
But it's not a good look. There's a split decision. Levitt couldn't finish him. He's a decent wrestling grappler.
Oh, okay,
has gas issues. The Golden Boy coming up. He's.
Did he look good in the first round versus Levitt? Wasn't he?
I think he won the fight. But anyway, this fight is definitely supposed to be a layup for Zell Hubert. He just won the Contender Series last fall.
He's undefeated.
Yeah.
Wow, 6'1", 77 inch.
Yeah.
That's a big reach. Is
He's
he a
a big
boxer?
boy.
Is he a
Yeah.
striker?
Yeah, definitely a striker. Young man. And this is supposed to be a layup for him. Ogden, if he can implement his wrestling, could steal some rounds. Again, there's that the Contender Series fade everyone likes to
I
do.
feel like it'd be helpful to know.
Slicer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's nice. It'd be nice to know how the countries or the areas rank. Like, number 6 lightweight Latin America. Where does Latin America stand to, Like the
Worldwide?
Mexican circuit, like the Europe
96
circuit.
worldwide is probably higher than 6 in Latin America.
No, yeah, it is. But I like to know like where they are like individually.
Agnew
That was
Caruso.
the start of the prelims.
This is another card. It's hard to get reads on either one of these guys. Cameron Van Camp, his debut, he got knocked out quick by Andre Feely. And Moda was a high prospect.
I thought Van Camp got knocked out by
Fiallo.
Fiallo, yeah, Fiallo.
That's what I said.
Feely.
I might have said
Oh,
Feely, but I meant Fiallo.
Yeah, Fiallo.
And you got Moda, who was coming out the contender series, lost to Jim Miller. Got KO. Both these guys got
Miller
KO.
can surprise you sometimes.
But it's hard to get a read on what these guys are, right?
Yeah.
Neither one has really got a chance to show what they can do in the UFC level. I do think this is. I mean,
when it's low level, all things seem to be
Van
considered.
Camp's gonna be a lot bigger.
Van Camp's bigger.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
a lot
he's
bigger.
170. The
Camp.
fight's at 155.
Yeah, and with the fight's at 155, so we know the scale.
Give me Van Camp.
I think Cameron Van Camp gets it done as well too.
Yeah. Okay. This might be the first time, but I'm not picking Trevin Giles.
Yeah, neither am I.
I don't care how big of a favorite he is.
Is he a favorite?
I think he's the favorite in this fight.
Listen,
Give me
Trevin Giles cannot stop takedowns.
Yeah.
He cannot. Even his fight he won against Doze.
It's not
Doze
even
they
that.
took him down, but that's what Costy's going to do.
It's his fucking IQ.
But Costy's going to go shoot.
Yeah.
He's not going to try to stand up and bang.
Hey, and
with
his
him.
brother just won, so maybe his cardio's improved too.
I don't think he's going to need his cardio. I think he's going to get the fight to the ground. He's going to pound out Giles, and it's going to be over pretty fucking
I'm not
quick.
picking Trevor Giles.
That's
Trevin
your favorite
Giles.
fighter.
I've learned a lesson.
We got a grappling match coming up next. The Leech, the real Leech, Damon Jackson versus Pat Sabatini.
All right, so Trevin Giles is minus 200 favorite.
Oh, give me. Oh, what the fuck?
Koshi's plus 170. Yeah.
Really? Give me Koski all day long. What the fuck is going on
He was the
here?
one that gassed so bad, right? It wasn't Orion.
They both gassed at one point.
Yeah.
I like Sabatini in this fight. They both are going to be heavy grappling. Damon Jackson came in a heavy favorite his last fight. Who the fuck? I forget the guy's name. He had a weird fucking name, the guy he fought. Yeah, Argueta. Daniel Argueta did not look that good in that fight.
Dude, this is Pat Sabatini. He's a fucking monster.
Yeah, and because he's gonna. I mean, Jackson's gonna want to grapple in this fight. And go
Yeah.
ahead, go to the ground, Pat Sabatini.
He's gonna bite off more than he can chew.
That's a
Like
step
Damon
up.
Jackson's decent, but I think
Enzo
Sabatini's
Gracie Philly.
he's
You
an
don't play
elite-
that game.
He's an elite
You
level.
don't play with those boys on the floor, right?
Yeah.
So I think Pat Sabatini gets this done.
Yeah.
Easy, pretty easy too. Fluffy versus
This is
Barrier.
a fun fight.
This is an interesting matchup here. We got Fluffy, whose biggest win was Rodolfo Vieira, right? Got
Yeah.
that big sub over the black belt hunter
He beat the
himself.
Turtle too, I think. Not a super huge win, but
Did
he beat the Turtle, I think.
The sub.
Yeah, Anaconda, and then lost Anaconda before that.
Marcus Perez. Ooh,
That's bad.
Ooh, the Joker himself. Marc-Andre Barrios is going to bigger, heavier fight. He's going to try to push this against the cage. That's what he does. He's a big dude. He wants to force that cage grappling, throw heavy elbows and short distance stuff. He can. So he got to sub his last fight, I think, as well.
He got knocked out by
Chitty. Fast.
Yeah, he
Jordan Wright.
subbed Jordan Wright, which is
Yeah, Chitty's got hands. though.
Dolce. That win kind of didn't age well. Azatar,
That's not the good Azatar, right?
it's not. I think that's the one that had the ear issue, is it?
Yeah, but that's not the one that had the potatoes in the bag.
No,
That's the good one. That's the good Azatar.
He's a little lower weight class,
Yeah,
isn't he?
yeah, he's a lightweight.
I'm gonna go with Anthony Hernandez.
I'm gonna go with Marc-Andre Barrios. I think he's gonna be pressing this against. It's gonna be a decision. He's gonna press this against the cage, get some fight in there, and Fluffy does have some questionable cardio as well too.
I like his. I think he's gonna catch him.
Maybe
And then it's gonna be a
The power
club,
bar.
It's gonna be a club and sub for
the power bar is really a
Fluffy.
fucking light heavyweight at least fighting in that.
He is pretty big
He's
for
a
that weight
big
class.
thick boy. Big thick boy. I think he's gonna lay
You
on
got
him.
one Canadian.
Yeah, I have two Canadians here.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, I've been kind of
They
Agapova backer.
just don't. They just keep putting Agapova as a favorite from that one performance where she looked really, really good.
Yeah, but Jillian Robinson's not very good either. And I mean,
Yeah,
yes, and no.
but-
She had like the most subs, right, as a strawweight or flyweight. I mean,
She's gonna sub Agapova.
this is a show me fight for Amir Agapova. That's what they're doing right now. They've been trying to hype her up. They want her to be the star. That she can strike with the best of them. If you want to stand a bang with her, she can.
stop Jillian from taking her down.
I
in a
think
messy
she can
way?
because Jillian's not good at taking people down.
No, but in a messy way, it can go down.
Maybe.
And how good is the Demon Slayer?
And the feet, she's fucking great.
Yeah, I just don't.
I think she's gonna knock out Jillian Robinson. Because Jillian Robinson's great if the fight does end on the floor. It might not get back up. But it's not like Jillian's blasting doubles, inside trips and that stuff. She usually ends up on her back. And I think if Agapova knocks her down, she's not going to go down there with her.
I think it's going to be a scramble type of takedown, and she's going to sub her. Armbar, choke.
I mean,
choke.
that's not out of the
If
realm
that
of
is like
possibilities.
Agapova gets tired,
Yeah,
I
have Aspinall's going to win this fight. You got a 42-year-old fucking Sarah McMahon was in the Olympics like in the same year Kurt Angle was, who loves to be winning fights till she gets subbed. I think Aspinall is going to get back on track here. She's younger. She had a tough comeback. She was out for a while for an injury, right? She had that crazy comeback loss where she just didn't do nothing for 5 rounds, and her coaches was mean to her. Who was her last loss to?
Was it Dumont? Pennington. Did Dumont beat her? Yeah, Dumont.
Yeah, that was the one where the coach was like,
Yeah.
do something.
Man.
They ran me right across. I think she's going to win this fight, probably by ground and pound at some point. Lad does got good ground and pound.
Give me Sarah McMahon.
You take a 42-year-old.
Yeah,
well, go for it.
42 on the sauce. It's okay. It says 42 makes her like 22.
Javid Basra, I like this guy a lot.
Man,
this
this is
gonna
be
a lot of potential. Another great.
This is gonna be a good fight. Yeah.
But Tony Gravely loves to give his neck up.
Yeah,
he loves to give his neck up.
Basra looked really good.
Basra could do it all.
Yeah.
He can strike. He can bang.
really
Be a
good.
taller fighter. They had the same reach advantage, but his legs be longer for Basra.
Give me Basra.
I
I'm
do
excited
too.
to see this guy.
His brother's good too.
Yeah.
His brother's good too. I think Basra wins by a finish at some point. But again, it's another fight you want to look at DraftKings, both sides.
And who the hell's Denise Gomez? I don't know.
Making a debut. I think she's in the contender series. She's
Versus
young.
Luma Lugbomi.
I mean, one thing I think this fight's going to go the distance.
Yeah.
Luma's a point stand-up Muay Thai fighter, sharp striking.
She's decision everything.
If this chick, I don't know much about Denise Gomez. We're recording this on Sunday, the day after the fight, so I haven't really dug in the tape yet. If she has any bit of grappling or wrestling, I'm going to go with Denise Gomez because Luma cannot stop a takedown.
No, she can't.
She
And she
cannot
can't get up
at
from a
all.
takedown either.
So
Well, she's Brazilian.
she is Brazilian, but there are a lot of Brazilians these days like to stand in Muay Thai a
Yeah.
lot. They go to shoot boxing stuff. So
Who's that? Parana.
Vale Tudo, yeah, I mean that.
Who's on there?
Not anybody. Lara, I know that name, but it's
Nobody
No.
I know.
No. Carol Hosa.
Hmm.
That's the only person I know on that. Oh, the Spider Girl. I know Spider Girl. She's fun in the UFC. But those two like the grapplers. So I gotta look into it a little more. She's 22 years old, making her debut. Doesn't have a look. If anybody pretends they have a great read on Denise Gomez, stop listening. They're full of shit. Like she's 6-1, 22 years old, only fought regional fights, right? Nobody fucking knows what she
I
is.
don't see any odds on it right
Yeah,
now.
I gotta look at try to find what. It's probably gonna be hard to find film
Luma's
on
minus 260.
because Denise's last second replacement. Luma was supposed to fight Diana Belbita,
There's gonna have to be
but
some
she was gonna
grappling.
lose that fight.
Yeah, there's got to be some
Because
grappling.
Belbita can stand and strike, and she'd be like 10 inches taller than her and stay outside. But if Denise Gomez again, she has any capable wrestling, I'm going with her.
Wow, Robertson was supposed to fight Gatto. That would have been bad for her.
Oh yeah,
and Youssef.
Yeah, Youssef. They're looking for a partner, right? He might be on this card. Super Sadiq. He doesn't have an opponent right now, but as of yesterday, they were saying they're still going to try to fight an opponent from before the week's up. So he's going to be a heavy favorite, Sadiq Youssef, when he fights.
Well, what's our main card lock of the night?
I'm going to go Cory Sandhagen. No, Joe Pfeiffer. Joe Pfeiffer is going to be my lock of the night. Amadowski likes to get finished. Pfeiffer likes to finish. And that's where I'm going to lock
that's
it
a
in.
good one. I'll take Sandhagen. If I can't take Sandhagen, then I'm going to take give me Bozer.
Bozer.
I think Bozer beats Nelson Mandela.
I'll never lock in Bozer in anything. I mean,
That's the fun
I don't
of
think he can. That's not the lock is not supposed to be like you're talking about a dart throw. There's a difference between a lock and a dart throw. You're throwing.
I'm pretty good at darts though.
Pfeiffer is my lock.
Hey, I've had a couple underdog locks come in for me, so that's not even an underdog. I think he's the favorite.
But you didn't bet on.
Yeah,
That's just somebody who thinks they're a lock. If you're a lock, put $20 on Tanner Bozer right now.
Let's see here.
Let me see how much you really think Tanner Bozer is
Let
going
me
to
see
win.
how much he costs though.
It doesn't matter. He's a lock.
but still.
It's a lock.
No.
The lock means he's not going to lose.
Minus
Tony.
175.
That's like pretty decent lock numbers.
That's not bad.
Look at, he don't think it's a lock. Look at him right now. He's like,
You said I had to pick one, so I'm going to go with Bozer.
Why
I don't
would
think anybody should ever be a true lock.
That's
But I
because of
get what
sport.
you're saying, yeah.
But yeah, you're like I'd put $20 on fucking Joe Pfeiffer right now. Let's go through it. Joe Pfeiffer's gonna win by knockout probably too, guys. If you want to,
No, you got to put what is he, 300?
who?
Pfeiffer? He's minus.
What do the odds have to do with it? What do the odds have to do with? I said put $20.
Guaranteed money.
He's
He's
minus
guaranteed money.
He's minus 390.
Yeah. So I'm gonna buy lock by knockout just to make more money off of it. Sweeten my deal because that's probably how he's gonna win. But that's going to be this Saturday. Then we get a little break in the action the 24th, and get the shit cards before the big one. The one I can't wait for. I was going to compete on October 22nd, and I said, nope. UFC 280s then. That's when you got Makachev and Oliveira. You got Jan and Sugar. You have, who's the other fight? I can't remember right now. It's going blank. It's the best card in a long time. The main card is going to be fucking ridiculous.
Well, because 280 events here.
I'm like a moron right now for forgetting who else on that card. Dern Yauna. Mackenzie Dern was on the show last night. Oof.
Who was it?
Mackenzie Dern.
Oh yeah.
Oh, TJ and Alja. How did I forget that?
TJ Alja.
Yeah. Sean O'Malley and Jan.
Gamron Dariush is a banger.
Manon
and Caitlin's a good fight. Brady, but like this is gonna be Murdoch and Chow's a good. Look at this card.
Okay.
Ozdemir and Krylov.
Almeida, Turkugov.
Then we start getting a little bit. They're just trying to get those.
And that's all they got now. I mean, they're going to add more, clearly.
Yeah. Malarkey and
There's
Mustafa.
probably more on Tapology.
This is going to be a fucking banger, guys.
All right, well, let's go into what's
the
going on
show.
this past week in MMA news. What's next for
What did Dana end up
Hamza?
saying? I didn't see this.
Chimaev took just over 2 minutes to submit
Best bet
Holland.
for title shots at middleweight.
What did I say? His next fight's going to be easy. I was telling you.
Yeah, because Dana was like, if he can't make weight, maybe he should move up. I think he fights Paulo Costa. They were talking
That'd be
shit.
a fun fight.
Paulo Costa put his hat on his dick.
Yes, dude. I really hope he markets the secret jewels still. Like, I want to see it on shelves. Like, I really, really do. I think it's great branding.
Yeah, I mean, he should, like, where are you at? Like, one of these fucking, whether it's Right or Fit Aid or what's the other one? What are these damn companies? Like, why don't you talk to Paulo Costa, have a flavor called Secret Juice, and go for it?
Well,
Which Paulo Costa would give this boy some fucking trouble. He's not going to just throw Paulo Costa around.
Make you strong in jacket.
Like fucking, like Yoel Romero didn't throw. That's who I wish was still around. Yoel Romero, Hamzat. That's a fight I'd like to fucking see.
I'd like to see it. Could you put your arms around his neck?
That'd be a fucking amazing.
Mackenzie Dern and Zhao and Jan are headlining the card too.
It's not a bad fight. It should be a headliner though. Yeah, I mean, I think Chimaev's probably most likely next fight's going to be Colby Covington.
I'd like to see that fight too.
And it makes sense division wise. He'll come in, make 170. All that will go away, and it's going to be I don't know if we were recording when I started saying this, but I think he did not take this fight serious, and I think the whole vibe, the whole card, everyone's saying what's going on here, and that's what fucking happened. I think when he fights Colby Covington, it's gonna be like this is a real fight. This is a fight for the title. If you don't make weight, you won't get your title.
I don't know,
shot
but like, why? Like, when you're gonna make tons of money, why lose all that money?
He probably didn't think he would lose that money. He probably thought he would work it out like what's his name did, Paulo Costa. He probably thought he'd be like, you know what, we're gonna figure this out. Nate's a fighter, whatever's gonna happen. Right. He probably said, fuck it, I'm not gonna cut weight. Paulo Costa basically said, fuck this, I'm not gonna cut weight. Nick Diaz basically said, fuck this, I'm not gonna cut weight. He did the same thing, and it didn't work out the same way for him. That's all that happened. So he's gonna get one more welterweight fight. Although the other logical thing is, if he beats Alex Pereira, which he's got to do it. It's got to happen. Pereira has knocked him out before. He's gonna be. There's nobody at middleweight from the fight. He's beaten him everybody. Some of them 2 times. That's the next logical fight to it. Hamzat go to 185. So it's either be Colby Covington or Izzy, and I think whatever. If Izzy ends up losing, then he'll fight Covington. If Izzy wins, he fights Izzy.
I think he has a harder fight. Well, I don't know. I go back and forth on Izzy. You think Izzy beats him?
Yes.
Beats Hamza?
Yes, I think he stays away from him on the outside. It's going to be a very boring fight. I mean, Izzy was able to avoid...
I would almost say I think Colby's a harder fight than Izzy.
That's my thought. Is that,
because he can negate the wrestling.
I think Izzy can avoid the wrestling.
He can win the cardio side, Colby, the volume side.
I don't look. I think,
but Hamza has volume too, though.
I don't think Hamza's going to keep up with Izzy's speed moving around the cage, and he's going to run around. It's going to be people are going to be booing, they're going to be screaming. It's going to be this and that. Staying away from that, and Hamza's going to get tired. And it's going to be a very boring 5-round fight. That's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be like Yoel. We all saw Yoel Romero, right? As he did to him, he stayed away from him. He didn't let his hands on him. He kept moving, and that's what that fight's going to be. But
I mean, if Hamzat's constantly shooting for his legs and shit, though, like,
yeah, how long is he going to do that for?
But if he gets him down, he ain't getting up.
Yeah, that's what anybody. If Khamzat gets anybody to the ground, they're not getting back up.
Whitaker got him to the ground. Got Izzy to the ground.
Yeah, but I don't think he was avoiding Whitaker's wrestling as much as he was Khamzat. Khamzat avoid the wrestling. That's your thing. Move around.
What if he mirror sharks him?
That's not happening.
He gets him pressed into that cage corner.
That's not happening. He's not gonna hit Izzy clean. He's not. Who's done it? Nobody's done it.
Until they do.
Nobody's done it until they do.
Until this is MMA. Until they do.
It's not happening. He's not gonna hit. Then he's not gonna knock Izzy.
Just like Edwards knocking fucking Usman out.
Usman's got no chin though.
Man.
Burns sat Usman down too. Usman's got a shaky chin. He's got a very shaky chin.
Until fucking Nunes or fucking Pena chokes Nunes. Shit happens.
That's not that shocking though.
That
was Pena's path to victory though. Pena was not going to knock him out. Now, Juliana Pena knocked Amanda Nunes out, then it's a shock. But when a grappler wins by submission, it's not a shock. So if Khamzat were to knock out Izzy, that's a huge, huge shock. That's a big opposite side of what happens. Now, if Khamzat takes Izzy down and ground and pounds him or
how about when
strangles him?
Habib knocked down Conor when he rocked him? He didn't finish him, but he rocked him with a punch. Nobody expected that.
He hit a guy in a fight?
He dropped him.
He didn't drop him.
Nobody expected it. But it's to prove right. Nobody thought he was going to drop him.
He didn't drop Conor.
He pretty much dropped him. Conor caught himself.
He had no knockdowns versus Conor McGregor.
Big overhand right.
0. He hit him. In
the sport of boxing, it would have been a knockdown.
No.
Yeah. Any part of your body other than your feet touch the mat, it's a knockdown. In boxing.
No, they have slips.
So if your hand touches.
No, there's slips and everything.
Unless it's a slip. I don't know. I think Colby's harder than.
That's my initial gut reaction.
Because I don't think Colby can finish Khamzat. Izzy can.
Like, Jan's not known for great wrestling. I mean, he's bigger, but he got Izzy down.
Jan is known. He's a grappler.
Not a lot. He likes
yes,
punch.
He is.
Polish power.
No, he's got more subs than knockouts, I think. Like, Jan's
listen,
a grappler.
guys, let's go to performance bonuses of the night. We might have already, but I think the thing we glossed over a little bit was that this fucking liver kick.
Oh no, this was the crazy. Like, I don't know what Macy Kason's parenting plans are. I know.
So if she would have not hit this kick, would she have probably lost the fight, Aldana?
I don't know, because it probably went to a stand up, and this was semi early in the round, wasn't it? It was like halfway through the third round. So, yeah, and I think the fight was still on the table. I think Aldana. And well, they showed what the cards were, because easily could have been 10-8 for either ladies. It could have been a 10-8 Aldana in round 1. It could have been a 10-8 Kason in 2. It could be 10-9. It really depends what the cards were. Because I have no idea what the cards were going into it. It could have been going towards a draw. Like it was the fight was up in the air. I'm sure the cards are out there and somebody's yelling at me, "Oh no, they saw this. I didn't see." What
was that comment about saying Aldana should get 2 performance bonuses for finishing her opponent twice in one fight? Did she fuck up?
Oh, Macy tapped.
What?
And an armbar
there was
round 1.
Like a half tap.
She went like the ref didn't see it. They were in transition. She taps a couple of times, and as they transition, it loosens up, and the ref never stopped it.
Oh.
Yeah. Macy tapped in round 1, and they didn't call it. But it was only a single tap though. Like it wasn't like she didn't really get the rubber into it. And I think she was starting to tap, and as they shifted, it got a little bit loose, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I'm not tapping no more." Right. But in all honesty, like Kason looked better than she has. Like she looked like shit in round 1. Aldana was beating the fucking brakes off of her, and if she came back and kind of beat the brakes off Aldana in round number 2, obviously was in somewhat control here. But that up kick to the liver, man, it was fucking ugly. She just went right. It kind of reminded me of what's her name? The Chukagian and the little fucking pit bull chick. What the fuck?
Andrade.
She
hit her in the stomach.
And that same kind of just dropped to the mat. She laid down, and the people like, "What the fuck just happened?" Even Aldana's like, "What's that?
Nobody
what
knew
happened?"
what was going on.
Aldana's like, "What's going on here?" And they thought it was a low blow at first, but no, yeah, it was a fucking amazing. It was one of the most unique knockouts.
Thiago Santos signs with PFL.
You know what's fucked up? Even though he lost that last fight, I think that fight versus Hill was his best performance in a while.
It was his best performance.
It was a competitive fight versus one of the best light heavyweights in the world.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's good for him. He's not going to go back to the 205 title picture. He's done what he can do in the UFC. Now he has a shot to go win $1 million.
Yeah.
He can win a 205 tournament.
Who's in that division over there? Is that Antonio Carlos Jr. or is he 185? Like Shoeface?
I'm not sure. But he's definitely up there to win it. And say if he does go and win that PFL World Championship, wins that title, he can always come back to the UFC, kind of like, and get one last run if he really wanted. So I think this works out for him. Gets him some fresh mats up. He's kind of fought everybody in the top 10 already. There's not too many people in that top 10 he hasn't fought. Yeah. So get some fresh mats up, and again, a chance to win $1 million, which he probably wouldn't do in the UFC at his standing right now. Sucks. He had John Jones. I think he beat John Jones. Of all the people that came close, Dom Reyes probably too, but I think Santos is the one that actually beat his ass. It was a great fight.
All right, you guys may have saw this.
Yes.
Oh, she flashes them.
Yeah.
She's
I see this more
seen
often.
the surge in her OnlyFans since Ty Emery flashes the
Well, one
audience.
thing I
after
really
a win.
learned is how supportive those sports bras are. Because that was a big shock when that popped out. Like,
Yeah.
Compared to what it looked like while she was fighting, I'm like, holy shit, that's a fully right there.
Were they
Like,
real?
Maybe not. But
I don't think they're real.
Hey.
I don't think they're real.
you could see, you could smell, you could taste, you could touch. What more do you need out of life, right? It's real.
She went from 40 subscribers to her OnlyFans to 2,500.
Trying to catch some bad
Yeah, but
baby
hey, if
numbers.
that's like $20 a month, that's pretty good.
Shit, $1 a month. If you making fucking $2,500 a month just to show your
yeah.
tits, I'll take it.
Right,
You see
for
my nipples
a
all
quick
day.
flash.
Man,
I think
good
we're
for
gonna
her,
see.
good for
Yeah.
these women.
We're gonna
man.
see more of that happening in the UFC and elsewhere.
Man.
Does she have to do it every time now?
She
Yeah.
better.
Like,
Right. With that kind of return,
yeah.
I would show mine.
It has to be, I would even do it if I lost. Trust me, the fans won't be mad at you if you did it when you lost. They'll still be
Yeah.
cool with it. They'll still be all right with the idea. Yeah, this is one of the best celebrations in fight history. Oh, Giga, he was supposed to fight Sadiq.
Right. Well, he withdraws from UFC Vegas 60 Octagon return.
Who beat the piss out of him that broke him down? Oh, Cater.
Cater.
Cater fucking ended his life.
Oh yeah. So, does it say why he called for a fight?
His feelings
Korean
are hurt still.
Zombie? It doesn't say.
He probably wants some
Yeah,
more.
it's a
He probably
injury.
wants some more
Due to
beneficial.
undisclosed reason. Well, that sucks.
Maybe his doctor told him to stop cutting weight.
All right, 281, Chandler Poirier. How's this one going, guys? I think we chatted about this previously, but
I think it's a good fight.
I think I'm going Michael Chandler in this one.
I think I'm going Chandler.
I haven't picked Michael Chandler in his UFC run.
I
I
think-
picked against him every single time, so
Yeah.
you might want to go ahead and go with Poirier if I'm picking. Listen, Dustin Poirier, I pick wrong every single time. If I pick him, he loses. If I pick against him, he fucking wins. So
I think Chandler's pressure might give Poirier some problems.
these are
That's
two
the
guys
one thing that I
can't get
see.
right.
But I think Poirier could knock him out. He's got power, but I think the pressure. And where's Dustin Poirier's mind at? Chandler seems hungry and super motivated,
I mean,
even though he's older.
I just think Chandler has this. Yeah, exactly. He's way more motivated.
I think he'll pressure Poirier and keep him backing up the whole time.
I'm so fucking gunch. Again, I've called Poirier. The only fight I got right with Dustin Poirier, going back to Eddie Alvarez, I picked Eddie Alvarez in that fight, is the Khabib fight because I picked Khabib. That's it. That's an easy pick. That's a layup.
Yeah, I just wonder where
I
Poirier
get it wrong
goes
every time.
He's been the champion.
This is two very high
He's
level
had
fighters.
his red panty fight, 2 of them, 3 of them.
That's gonna happen again, too.
You
By
know.
the way,
So
that's gonna be the fight after this. But I right now where they're at, the current levels, what it seems like it happened. It looks like one's going up and that's Chandler, one's coming down. So I'm on a Chandler lean right now. When is the fight supposed to happen?
281.
So that's coming up soon.
Yeah.
So
That's-
November.
yeah,
November 12th, I think, yeah.
A lot can happen between now and then. We saw it happen in one day, guys. This
Yeah.
fight has to happen. Injuries, too much hot sauce.
early prediction. I would say Chandler.
That's why I'm kind of leaning that way too. But again, this is two high world class fighters. There's no slam dunk pick in that fight.
Right. Darren Till coming back, 282 on
This is a
December
good yet
10.
bad fight for Darren Till.
Duplessis.
I think Darren Till might be done.
We're gonna find out here because this guy Duplessis is not gonna try to take this fight to the mat, right? And that's where Darren Till really struggles. He is a really good striker, really good kickboxer. You have Dricus Duplessis, who's more of a power guy, and really doesn't have any interest in getting this fight to the mat. So if he can't beat Dricus Duplessis, not that he's bad, but again, this is a fight that's just like tailor made for him. It stays away from his weaknesses. This is where you find out a lot about Darren Till.
But I think it's like another hunger thing. Like, where is Darren Till at? Is he hungry? Does he have the drive to, grind and get back to the top?
I mean, he's working out with Hamza.
And he's going against a guy Dricus who's not top 15 yet, right? He's not top 15.
If he's right,
What's going to happen? He gets there and he gets rocked. Things aren't going in his favor.
He's middleweight.
Is he going to stop doubting himself? He's had some mental stuff going on lately.
Did he get in legal trouble or something recently?
I don't know, but he's just been mentally saying that He's been depressed.
I got like a big accident or some
shit like that. And
well, his queen just
injured,
died.
Yeah. God.
Did you see that?
The queen.
Did you see they play like an an honor of like Queen
Right,
Elizabeth at the beginning of the card, and the fans started booing. They started chanting USA
Okay, where are they at?
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
America
also-
wins again, guys. 2-0. We're 2-0 against you fuckers.
The Betty White thing you sent me was funny.
Yeah.
That shit was great.
Oh man, yeah. Betty White wins. I mean, she dies the same day American football kicks off. It was just all kinds of jokes. All kinds of jokes. But yeah, I think Duplessis gets the crack on his jaw and puts him out because that boy's got some power.
I think
down there.
Dricus is gonna win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna find out what he has left.
Yeah.
Now, didn't Chirico retire before this fight too?
Announced
Yeah,
retirement
I think
from
so, and then he
fighting
came back.
So
after he lost with.
this might be a psych. This might be a psych move. Like maybe I didn't because he retired before this fight. Maybe he just wanted to fight in Europe to be closer to his family. There's not many Italian-born fighters, and I think it's him and Vittori, right? That's it.
Yeah.
So maybe he just wanted to have that fight in Paris. Maybe he has the family come to be able to watch him up there and whatever it may be to get that one fight in. I mean, he's a solid fighter, right? He's got his biggest win was Joaquin Buckley. He knocked out Joaquin Buckley, but he also got who knocked him out?
He's been like
Impa? No, Impa, not Impa. Hassan.
Yeah.
Al Hassan fucking put his
He
lights out.
yo-yos
and
his fights.
Yeah.
He wins, loses, wins, loses.
Yeah, I mean he's
Loses,
kind of
wins.
a journeyman type guy. He
Yeah.
is a UFC level fighter, but he's never going to go higher than where he's at. Kind of interesting take on he thinks that losers should get interviewed every time too.
Yeah, he did have that big meltdown.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Maybe he gets mad every time he's
That
sitting
was
there
during the COVID era.
It was every time he lost. I think he's probably sitting there. I wish he would ask me questions.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Here it is. How we thinking this one's
Jody
going?
should go on this one first.
Paul Henderson Silva.
this one scares the shit out of me.
I think Jake Paul's gonna win.
I think he's probably going to win too.
I don't, but I don't think he can't win. I don't think this is a slam dunk. But I just think Anderson Silva is going to beat him.
I don't think Silva's strong enough to knock him out anymore.
But I don't think he has to knock him out to win. I thought fucking Silva slept fucking Tito Ortiz with
Yeah,
one strike.
But I think Tito goes out way before Paul goes out.
Why?
Especially because he's old
Who's
as
tested
fuck.
Paul's chin?
Tito's been knocked out a bunch. In the
I don't
past 10
think
years.
Paul's reckless enough to just like leave his chin out there to get checked like that because it's the ones you don't see coming that's gonna knock you out.
So you're saying he's like a well-defined
No, but I just think
striker?
he's going to be more hesitant. No, I'm
Like,
saying he's
wait.
going to be more hesitant. Like,
I don't know. I think he's more reckless. He's never been hesitant in any of his fights.
yeah, but he's going against Anderson Silva. Like, I don't think
When against Tyron Woodley, he
reckless.
wasn't reckless. He was reckless with that fight. Woodley was just too small to pick him hurt. Silva did beat Julio Cesar Chavez, who would beat Jake Paul. Julio Cesar Chavez would beat Jake Paul.
I
Yes,
don't know
he
that
would.
I mean, I think
he fought a world
His
champion.
head isn't in the game anymore, man.
Even not in the game. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. would beat Jake Paul.
That
Right
might
now,
be-
today.
that might happen.
And he'd beat his dad's ass. I'm sorry. Right now, he'd beat his own dad's ass. But again, Silva's not taking a step back. He's on that acai again, looking good, looking sharp. I don't think,
I mean, I think Paul's going to have the hardest time. This is going to be the hardest fight he's ever had.
he's going to have a reach
Silva's-
disadvantage.
Silva's got great movement. Good
He's
head
not going to be the
movement.
bigger guy in the fight for the first time in his life.
Well, what's the Silva? What's Silva?
Silva's about 200 pounds.
He's about 200.
They'll probably
205.
fight about 190, I'm guessing. That's what Paul usually has his fighters fight about.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I think
Silva has knocked out 205ers. He knocked out Forrest Griffin. Not an easy guy to knock out. Stephen Bonner, not an easy guy to knock out. He's put 205ers out.
he has 10 years ago.
He just knocked out a 250-pound Tito Ortiz.
Come on, man. I think
Tito's got a lot of brain trauma.
Tito.
You probably sneeze on Tito,
did
he'll go
not
to
look
sleep.
Good, man. He looks slow. He looks like he got brain damage. And he probably
Aren't Aaron Anderson about the same age?
Yeah, but one's had way more wear and tear than the other.
Why? How many
Yeah, but
fights
so
did Anderson
it's
Silva
like,
had?
If Paul was fighting, what the fuck is his name? The old guy who was with.
Paul has knocked out a basketball player and 2 wrestlers.
He has.
He has
This is
not
gonna be
beaten
his hardest
anyone that
fight.
has any level of striking whatsoever. And he arguably lost the first fight to Woodley. That fight was very sketchy of a decision at the end of it.
So, does Paul have an easier time beating Silva or Diaz?
Diaz.
Without
for
sure. Yeah.
Jake Paul, I'm gonna say right now, after watching Diaz last night, Jake Paul would beat the shit out of Nate Diaz in a boxing match. In a MMA fight, not even close. But in a boxing match, Nate Diaz boxing sucks. And any boxing expert would be like, yeah, he's right. That's bad. And I love me some Nate Diaz. I would want him to beat the piss out of him. But as a boxer, Jake Paul is a better boxer than Nate Diaz is. He'll hit him and point at him and do you can't point. Your fingers aren't even out. Yeah. He can't even do the Diaz point because his fingers be covered.
I think Paul's going to win this.
You think he'll knock Silva out?
No.
Yeah.
You think he is?
Well, I mean, I guess it really also depends on what are we doing?
Anderson Silva is very hard to knock out.
He is, but Paul is a strong dude, man. The way he knocks everybody out.
He has cherry picked his opponent. I mean, Ben Askren was a fucking fat dude with one hip.
But you got to think, boxing is a different animal than MMA. You know,
most boxing is beating pro boxers. He's got a better win on his record than Jake Paul has in a boxing match.
Because boxers come up and their first 10, 15 fights are with not guys who have good records. They usually got losing.
But I'm saying the Julio Cesar Chavez boxing win is better than any win that Jake Paul has.
What happened here? I lost the camera.
Like what Jake Paul boxing win is better than Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.?
No, none of them.
Exactly.
Sure.
So we're talking purely boxing. Let's erase anything Anderson Silva did in MMA. Take it away. Just their boxing resume. Silva has a better boxing resume. And I think he had some boxing matches early in his career, too.
But I also think Paul would have beat Chavez Jr., too.
I don't.
I think so.
I think.
And didn't Silva win by decision?
Yes.
I think Paul would have knocked him out, man.
I don't think he would. He's knocked out two wrestlers and two guys that are on the way down slide to begin with.
We all thought Woodley was going to
put
work in.
And that's kind of the same thing here for me. I'm hoping Silva will do it.
I have faith in Anderson Silva
because I really want Silva to do it.
I honestly really think Anderson Silva is going to make this look pretty easy. Jake Paul is not that good of a boxer to begin with.
Well, we'll see what happens.
He's again.
This is actually only what? Oh, it's in October. We're in the middle of
It's
September,
right after 280.
Jake Paul knocked out a basketball player. Who we know basketball players don't fight this way. They play basketball because they don't want to make contact with people. A one-legged old man. He came off a hip surgery. Ben Askren, who didn't train at all, didn't have nothing but fat in his body.
He's an elite combat fighter.
That's what I'm saying. He has not been an elite combat fighter in a long time. This is post-hip surgery. He had one hip and didn't train at all for the fight. You saw his body.
He can't strike for shit.
Ben Askren, couldn't strike at all. Had zero striking ability. Even in his prime, couldn't strike for shit and didn't train for the fight. He definitely did not train for the fight.
And knocked him into next week.
He stood there and then hit me, basically.
Well, I mean, what more could you ask for? Like, I mean, if that would have gone to decision. Or
I would knock out Ben Askren. I've never boxed in my life.
I think it's possible. And
I've never boxed. I've kickboxed. I've Muay Thai. I've done MMA. I've never boxed in my life. If I got in a boxing fight with Ben Askren, I'm putting him to sleep. And probably Tyron Woodley, too.
I don't know, man. Silva's going to be his
I'm a lot bigger than him. I'm a lot bigger than him, too. I'm putting that into consideration. I'm way bigger than those two guys.
What about Jake Paul? You knock out Jake Paul?
I'd have to try to have more trouble with Jake Paul than I would Tyron Woodley. I'll tell you that.
Like Jake Paul trained. But Silva has.
I still think I'd beat Jake Paul. I do. I think I'd knock him out.
I just think something about the age thing here or something. I don't know. I think Paul's
Silva's on the fucking gas. I'm not worried about
Silva's on the way out. Paul's on the way up, man. We got to get. I don't know who's gonna knock Paul out.
But when's he just gonna start fighting like real boxers?
He backed out from Rockman.
Most boxers don't start fighting real boxers till.
That's what he says. That's what Jake Paul says. Jake Paul does not want to fight Hassan Rockman. That's why he's talking about this hydration clause and all this shit and that thing. He didn't want to fight that fight. If you want to fight somebody, stop saying I want this weight. Stop it. I want to fight you. I don't give a fuck what your weight is. I'll fight you. I will fight Brock Lesnar tomorrow. I don't care what the weight is. Come at 300 pounds, Brock. Let's go. I don't care. I want to fight him. Right? So, again, if you really want to fight somebody, stop playing these fucking games with weights. Fight him. Fight the person. Silva's going to win this fight.
Paul's playing the right game here. He's like building up his resume the right way, where he's fighting elite fighters who are past their prime.
But I think he's biting off more than he could chew in this fight. I think this is a huge step up. This is not a step up for Silva. It's a huge step up for Paul.
Yes.
Silva would beat Tommy Fury. Silva would probably beat Rockman Jr.
I mean, we'll see.
So this is the toughest fight that Jake Paul has ever been in. It's not the toughest fight that
Paul wins this. He should go. He should go to Joshua because like Joshua's on his way out now.
Like Joshua.
Well, I honestly think the next fight will be Nate Diaz, and that's where Nate Diaz is going for a minute. But Anderson Silva might end that.
Well, Nate Diaz is probably looking for a payday.
But once Jake Paul loses,
what about Conor? You can fight Conor.
But Conor's locked in his UFC contract.
Well, he got the Mayweather fight, so I mean.
Yeah, but
Dana
hates Jake Paul. Dana's not going to work with. They got to work together. There's no way he would do that.
Right.
Yeah, I think Anderson
Jake
Silva
Paul,
wins this
Bernard Hopkins. Come on.
But Hopkins might beat him too.
Bernard beats the fuck out of Jake Paul.
Even right now, I'm saying.
How old is he though?
I don't care.
He's got to be.
He was just fighting recently, wasn't he? He got knocked out of the ring. I know that, but again,
right. But I think he just beats the brakes off of Paul. But I don't know. I'm leaning Paul in this one. I think Silva's probably going to look really good in round 1 and 2. But I think Paul gets him 4-5, something like that, knocks him out. I think it's going to be another Woodley knockout.
Woodley doesn't have the head movement. Woodley's never the striking level that Anderson Silva could fight with his hands down. He'll dodge everything that Jake Paul has to give. He was an elite MMA striker.
I agree. He's a legend. He'll be a legend whether he wins or loses.
He's a striker too. He's not a guy that I'm going to grapple you. Like if Jake Paul fought Khabib in a boxing match, he'd beat the piss out of Khabib, right?
Oh, for sure.
But he's a legend. Even though he's a legend, he would beat the piss out of Khabib in a boxing match. Anderson Silva made his bread striking. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to stand with you. He fought with his hands down, fighting against 6 limbs, right? Or 8 limbs. 8 limbs. Yeah. 8 limbs. You don't got to worry about 2 right now.
Well, we'll see. It'll be an interesting fight. So,
how much of his boxing did he set up though with his other, 6 limbs?
But I think he's undefeated as a boxer, as a pro boxer, because he fought pro boxing before he went to MMA too. Like he's not just a guy that I'm going to try this for. Anderson Silva has fought like in all martial arts. He is just a well-rounded martial artist. So this ain't like new for him. Jake Paul. It might be trying to cash out right now.
We'll see. Paul knows he's got to put on some more exciting fights because that last one got canceled because nobody bought pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, I think this will sell.
It definitely sell. I'm in on this fight. I think it's going to be a good fight though too. I don't think like Jake Paul is drawing dead here, but I think in the end Anderson Silva is going to have. He's a better boxer than Jake Paul.
You think Silva's just going to outpoint him?
Most likely. I don't think Jake Paul's going to. Jake Paul's got a lot of like one-hit power for sure.
Right.
But he doesn't set things up nice. He's not a guy that's going to win decisions. He's not. I think he lost that decision to Tyron Woodley. He spent most of the fucking fight on the fucking ropes.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Well, that wraps it up this week for In the Guard. Reach us next week for the next.
The next, I decided to go
Dern
Xiaonan.
2 chick headliners.
Yeah, what are they doing? I think they're trying to motivate us to go outside.
Yeah.
Number 6 and number 5. Cody Garbrandt.
Xiaonan's in trouble too. Her grappling sucks. They're trying to get Cody back on track.
Richie Penne.
Oh, Sexy Maxi.
Sexy Maxi.
He's back. Castaneda.
So, I don't know. There's a decent fight. Randy Brown.
Okay, Randy Brown is an interesting one. Brown should win it, but Trinaldo's
Garbrandt's
that fucking
pretty
old dog,
big favorite.
man. That old fucking bastard.
Yeah.
Ronnie Yaya.
Oh, because Yaya's just
Masaranduba.
I will be playing some Yaya in DraftKings.
Later.
We'll see you next week.
Garbrandt might be the contrarian playing DraftKings.
Garbrandt.